Yeah, we could put it in land.
Okay, it was just at our last meeting, we approved something, and I just wanted to look it back. It has to do with I don't know, it doesn't have a land lease number or nothing, but it's, yeah. Can we just review all of them, I guess?
You okay with reviewing that?
Executive session?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a discussion on the old Jim Weaver Cemetery.
Jim Weaver Cemetery? Is Jake here in land? Is it something to do with land again, Huge?
Yeah, it has something to do with land as well.
This will be discussed in the land.
All right.
Okay, English.
Motion to approve the agenda with additions.
Chairman, can I add 2 items to executive session, please?
Well, we have to, Henry motion, so we're going to have to rescind. Let me go with Henry.
Okay, Chairman, I'd like to add 2 letters to executive session. One regarding the Whiter State Forest and one regarding the Water Protection Ordinance update.
Motion.
Okay, motion to approve the agenda with the changes and the additions by Eugene.
I'll second.
Second by Lurley. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, Miigwech. Thank you. All right, next up is the review and approve the meeting minutes. We have 3 of them. We have 12/27/24, 1/31/25, and 4/25/25.
Mr. Chairman, on the 420, or do we have to do them one by one, I suppose?
Oh, December 27th.
All right, I'll wait till we get to the one I need to.
You want to do them one by one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay, motion to approve 12/27/24. Motion by Mike Larock. Mike Larock. Second by Laura Lee. All in favor? Motion carries. Next up is the meeting minutes for 1/31/25.
So I know I had reviewed these and I made recommendations for changes, but I know all the changes I recommended have been made, so I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Laura Lee to approve the meeting minutes for 1:31 of 25.
Laura Lee, was your changes in this final revision here that we got in the email in, or? Because I reviewed that first one they sent out last week. So I'm not aware of any of the changes.
Yep, the ones that were emailed out, yeah.
Those are the current ones? Okay.
Yeah, when we actually, when these ones first came out, there was quite a few changes. I mean, a lot of them were just spelling and different rearrangement in the meeting minutes, but I know the girls had made the changes that I had recommended. I think you had recommended changes at some point too, but I'm not sure.
That was on a different one. That wasn't on this meeting.
Second by Mike LaRock. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next up are the meeting minutes for 4:25 of 25.
Chairman, I had a minor change on page 14. So I guess maybe we should table these until the change is made.
Something that you want to change?
Well, it's an executive session, so I don't know.
Okay.
I did talk to Maria about it, so she's aware of it.
Good with that? Good, Jerry?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. Motion to table, please.
I'll motion to table.
Motion by Laura Lee.
Second.
Second by Eugene. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next up are meeting minutes for 5:30:25.
I had one request on the page 5 on the very last paragraph. If we could just add, there was a brief discussion was held about safety concerns. That was just to ensure that, if the next council or somebody comes in, they realize why that decision was made.
Motion with the changes?
Okay, we got a motion by Mike LaRock for the meeting minutes for 5:30:25 with the changes.
Second.
Second by Henry. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Silent.
Motion carries. Miigwech. All right, next up is resolution contact with Optima for property management. Who has that one, guys?
The information that I can provide is that this was approved at the last meeting by action documented in the minutes. And so this is just the resolution to essentially ratify the decision that was made.
This is for all the tiny homes, even Rice Lake, everything, all of them? Okay. One question that I have is that there has been some confusion about what Optima does and what White Earth Builders does. I hope we get that straightened out, because the elders that are in those tiny homes are dealing with some, Representative Summers and Erickson and Fox have all been getting some challenges with the tiny homes of, like washers not working and other things not going right. So I guess we just have to come to a conclusion on who's responsible for what. That's just my 2 cents.
And I think I talked to executive director and deputy director yesterday about this and the warranty period. So from my understanding, there's a list sent over to Lori and Curtis. Are you guys working with builders on that to ensure the warranty stuff is being taken care of? Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's really important that we just ensure builders, because that warranty period is only good for so long, that things get taken care of.
I don't know, I have some concerns regarding just the tiny homes in general, because they're brand new units. They paid good money for them and they're having a lot of issues. And I don't understand why they're having so many issues when they're brand new units.
Okay, Lori and Curtis will compile information for us for these issues that we're having, ongoing issues with the tiny homes. But for now, I guess we have to come down to the resolution itself with the contract with Optima to be our property manager. So we have a motion on the table for that.
And Chairman, it's actually just formalizing an action that you have already approved. There is an approval of up to $80,000 to cover the various expenses, and the resolution is just restating what those expenses are and what it totaled, and it is just below that up to amount approved previously. And that was approved on May 2nd by the RBC. I would do a motion to approve the resolution.
Motion.
Motion by Mike LaRock. Second by Lori Lee. All in favor?
Silent.
Motion carries. Miigwech. Next up is Sturgeon Moon Pow Wow budget. Who wants to come up or who has information on that? Lori or?
White Earth Community Council has provided our estimated budget for the 2025 Sturgeon Moon Pow Wow. And I did provide Aisha this morning with a contract signed by Paula.
Did you put, I don't see any, maybe I'm not seeing it right, but did you put stipends for your powwow committee in here?
No,
Can you add that?
Do you guys do stipends? for
Do you
your
do
powwow
stipend
committee?
or what do you do?
Well, that's not in the budget. Is it?
no.
Yeah, it's not in the budget.
That's what I'm asking.
How much?
No, but I'm asking if you, because at the beginning we've always wanted to make sure that the stipends were put in there, so they were in stone.
Okay.
Because there's I'm not even gonna really go there, but I would like to see what you guys are getting paid for stipends.
Do you guys
In your
do
budget.
stipends or actually just volunteer? Or do you do it out of your community council budget?
We do it out of our community council budget.
Okay, that makes sense. So you wouldn't need it in here. Gotcha.
That's the answer I was looking for. Thank you. Be good. Yeah, through their community council.
Okay, motion to approve their budget.
So, Chairman, what are they asking for? Are they asking for 35 or are they asking for 49?
49.
Okay. Shouldn't have said that because everybody hears it now.
We didn't get nothing back for donations yet.
Do you guys have 10 drums already secured?
No.
So up to 10 drums? How many drums do you guys have last year?
We had more than that.
More than 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, what I would like to see is if we do approve this budget at that amount, I would like to see that if they don't use this whole amount, that it goes back into a fund with the community council for next year's powwow. So we would have, you'd have a balance, you'd have some balances next year for it. So you wouldn't be asking for as much money. You'd have a carryover
Yep.
for next year.
We opened up a savings account last year to put the extra
Okay,
in.
okay.
To carry over, kind of like Pine Point
Because
does.
normally what we do at the powwows is we have them bring them back to finance. We have them bring all their carryover back to finance. But with the community councils, since you have your own accounts, we wanted to see that documentation that you guys are, anything that you're under, I guess, you'd be able to put in an account for next year. So that's why, like, next year's budget for the Sturgeon Moon Pow Wow 2026 budget, if you did save money from this year, you would have that, put here and say we had excess from the year before. I don't know if you guys are okay with that or not, so. And there is a signed contract here too.
So, couple things, I guess. Number 3, it has compensation of services in the contract and it says upfront payment of 30,000. So that probably needs to be revised to have, or the full amount. Yeah, it has 30,000. So question for Secretary Treasurer would be, I guess, so we budget 35,000 for each of the community councils. So where's the rest of the money going to come from, or where do we pull that from? Just so we know.
It's going to come from general fund.
That's what we're just discussing. So the powwows are paid out of behavioral health dollars. So if they're budgeted at 35, we should probably keep it at 35 this year and look at changing it for next year.
Would that cause an audit finding if we did that, start doing that? That's what I'm concerned about, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's not going to cause an audit finding if you change it, but it's going to mess with their financials. And I think maybe you would have to talk to Courtney or Clinton to see if they can afford to up everything to that dollar amount.
Shannon, do you have other donations possibly coming in?
We're hoping to have more donations. We've sent to Wabguan,
Okay.
and then we're going to contact like ice cracking and stuff like that, Cedar Crest.
So donation committee and
And-
Wabigun possibly?
And then like programs.
Okay. So you may come up with extra money?
We may,
Okay,
or we'll just use it out of our budget, our own account.
okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, I think in the past, I think we agreed on that with, these newer powwows, because Sturgeon Pow Wow, how many is this, 3 years now? So these 3 years, we that 35,000, and then what they would do is if they could make it up with donations, the rest of it, because I see you're 14, it's 14 that you're short. So I guess if it's going to cause an audit finding by doing that, I'm not sure if we want to do that or not. So we'd have to, in the Sturgeon Moon Pow is a few weeks away, isn't it? It's a few weeks away. So I think my recommendation was I think what we should do today, this is just my recommendation, we should approve the 35 today. And then what we can do, because that's what we have allotted for it, approve the 35 today. And then if they run short, we can deal with it as it comes along. I guess that's the only thing that I can think of recommend today, because we haven't discussed with behavioral health if they can match the amount that's on there. So
Another thing is what we've been last reconcile. So I heard it.
what you think? You want them to bring it back?
I think that we should do what we did with
Mhm. I think they still do that, Trace. They do. They have all their contracts. They have all their contracts. They have everything there. But because we only control those 3 powwows, we should control all of them. But we only control those 3 powwows. That's why we had them bring that money back to finance, or back there. So these community councils, I think there was a trust that they would put them into their own accounts and keep them for the following year. So I don't know if you recommend not to do that, then I guess because they have been doing that.
This year, dealing with
Out of behavioral health, okay.
right, so I think we're paying allow family back or dollars.
Okay. Okay. So, but can we approve the 35 today and then work it out with you guys, and I'll be meeting with you guys and figuring out how we're going to do that? Okay. All right.
All right, motion to approve the $35,000 for Sturgeon Moon Pow Wow.
And Shannon, if you could amend that contract to 35, or have you guys, because it says 30, and just amend it, then have your chair sign it again, this contract? Because it's at 30 right now and it should be at 35. You go ahead.
Okay, motion to approve the Sturgeon Moon Pow Wow budget at $35,000
I'll make
with the changes.
I'll make a motion to approve it with the changes.
Motion by Lori Lee. Second. Second by Henry. All in favor?
Silent.
Motion carries. This is one thing that, that we talked about last year during our budgets. And, I know this year that, I've been pushing hard for all the communities and the powwows out there to, $35,000, with today with the tariffs and everything that's going on with the economy, I'd really like to see council move it to $50,000 for next budget. So, but these are things that, we'll sit on with the district reps and the communities and see if we can up our powwow budget. So I think it's a good thing for our communities to come together and sing and dance. So I do. So be good to everyone. All right, next up is the consent agenda. Okay. Okay, the consent agenda, we have 2.5 pages or 2 pages. First up is behavioral health. We have the Native Connections grant change for key personnel. We have the public health vending machine for Indigenous harm reduction and resolution. For education, we have the Minnesota Department of Education authorized data, user, and non-disclosure agreement. We have the variance request for TT, child care renewal license for MMAH and TF. We have the Minnesota Department of Education WA renewal, IOWA renewal. We have the Whiter Student Financial Aid Services, Whiter Tribal and Community College 2025-28 lease amendment and resolution. For finance, we have the Elbow Lake Boys and Girls Club demolition notice and award of resolution with the Whiter Child Care modular fit up contracts and resolution with the RBC carpet replacement notice and contract and resolution. We have the Beaver Health modular sewer line repair contract and resolution. 24-25 COLA BIE school operations grant amendment number 6 with the White Earth Family Treatment re-roof outpatient facility notice and award and resolution. We have the White Earth Tribal Health Department gym remodel renovation notice of award and resolution. For health, we have the 2025 Minnesota State or Minnesota Sure contract with Tribal Nation Navigator and resolution with the 2025 EMP program Title III contract with Red Lake Band of Chippewa Indians in resolution. For housing, we have the HUD-VASH resolution. We have the White Earth Homes VI housing agreement with the White Earth Chippewa resolution. For human services, we have the 2025-27 Weatherization Assistance Program grant contract and resolution with the White Earth Nation Child Support Program Finance Fiscal Year Budget and Resolution. We have the 2026 Housing Support Agreement Group and Community Settings and Resolution. For legal, we have the amicus CARI, the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act and resolution with renewal of LLC requests for AC, JBT, and JS. We have new LLC requests for MD, JM, SSS Cleaning. We have AMPD and TW for new LLC requests. Delegation of natural resources related comments and resolutions in inconsistent prior resolutions. We have letter to Bowser and resolution. For natural resources, we have the chronic waste and disease response and management plan for 2025 and resolution. We have the 2025 season limits and resolutions. We have the USDA certified bison meat sales and resolution. We have the FY25 base fuels crew funding and resolution. We have the FY26 and 27 EPA performance partnership grants and resolutions. For public safety, we have the FY25 DOJ COPS safety outcomes and grant. We have the MOU Lights on Program grant resolution. We have the operations agreement project Lifesaver and resolution. For public works, we have the FY25 BIA RSA and resolution. We have MnDOT 2025 Public Transit Award and resolution. And the ratifications we had before the last meeting, we had legal, we had amicus care, the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act and resolution. We had public safety, FY25 DOJ COPS safety outcomes and grant, and the letter to the Cannabis Control Commission. Any questions? I'll ask for a motion to approve the agenda, or the consent agenda, I'm sorry.
Chairman,
Yes.
under Human Services, can we move to executive session, the Housing Support Agreement, Group and Community Settings and Resolution, please?
Okay, what number is that there?
It's the third one under Human Services.
Okay, is that the 2026 one?
Yep.
Okay.
And then under legal, there's delegation of natural resources related comments and rescission of inconsistent prior resolution. We need to discuss that too further. Yeah, we can get that one into executive session. And then we we did discuss the USDA certified bison meat sales and resolution. I believe policies need to be made to go along with this prior to us approving, so I'm requesting that be tabled till the next meeting. And then there was one more. Yeah.
The Whiter Family Treatment Re-roof outpatient facility notice.
Under finance, there's one White Earth Family Treatment Re-roof Outpatient Facility Notice of Award and Resolution. If we move that to executive, I have some questions and requesting update from staff on that because it's a large amount of money. And one more, sorry. Education, there's one White Earth Student Financial Services and White Earth Tribal and Community College 2025-28 lease amendment and resolution. If we can put that into executive session too.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to, under ratifications, letter to Cannabis Control Commission, I'd like to move that to executive for discussion.
All right, ask for a motion to approve the amended consent agenda with the changes. Yeah. Motion by Mike LaRock. With the changes.
Sorry, with the changes.
Second. Second by Henry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. I'd like to say miigwech to everyone for coming today and being part of our meeting and having breakfast with us. And, you know, I know that, like what Shannon was up here and we talk about Sturgeon Moon, that's coming at the end of July. It's gonna be a good time for all of us. And, you know, right now I know we have a lot of community events happening during the summer months here. We have our community picnics and, you know, so be on the lookout for some of the information out on our websites and our social media pages that a lot of good things happening around here. Enjoy the weather. I know it's been hot and cold, but I know it's coming. So, but you know, when I think about the cool air, I think about, you know, dancing harder. So it's good. So, but these are things I guess that you know, get you money to do, and spirits and, you know, the weather and of course the rain that we've been getting the last few days, and it's been very healing and very good for our Mother Earth. So, but yeah, I want to say miigwech for everyone for coming again. I'll ask for a motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
Motion by Mike LaRock.
Second.
Second by Eugene. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Mr. Chairman,
carries.
can we take a little break? I'm gonna go stick up.
Yeah, we'll do a 5 minute.
Oh, hey, were we going to give a public comment or?
He didn't add it to the agenda.
No?
He said that he wants to do it every quarterly meeting.
What is it?
Public comment. He's asking. What do you do?
I don't know. I think they're just upset that they didn't have public comment. I don't know if we were supposed to give them, or